G'day, Franz arises, and just when you were wondering how much better the coverage of the Tour de Franzo can get, well, here is your answer. Welcome back to another episode of Tales of Action and Intrigue from the saddle of Franzo's push bike. This is episode 21 of the coverage of Tour de Franzo, where I'll be travelling from Clare down to Ardrossan, and you'll be sharing these tales with me. Just today, by the way, I am talking from the camp kitchen at the Wallaroo Beachfront Caravan Park. It's not been too bad noise-wise, but who knows what engine noise or the sound of people talking can come in the background. If you're wondering about that, well, that's what's happened. So anyway, let's just get on with it, shall we? Clare. Clare is the home of my old-time friend Greg Vunksness, who was a friend going back to seminary days, and he is now the pastor at Clare. He was my welcoming committee, as you can see, giving me suitable words of encouragement like, "Come on, Muller, you slacko, get a move on. Here is my driveway, get into it." But that's okay. I could give the banter back. "What? No beer? What's this 40-year-old Grange? I want the fresh stuff." And so it went on. But seriously, folks, Greg was a terrific host, and it was great to catch up with him after many years. Together we walked some of the Riesling Trail. We had a look at some wineries, or I got to try some Riesling and other things. And the highlight was a night where Greg lit up the fires. He chopped down some old vine branches and set fire to them, and we enjoyed a night swapping yarns together.
Woohoo! You got some on the bottle.
Yeah, I deliberately did that for you.
But after nearly a week, it was time to do the mosey.
Goodbye, Franz. Yeah!
So here is where I went. By the way, my map maker doesn't mention these towns, but it gives an idea of where I went. From Clare to Blythe, stayed overnight at Lockhill, down to Port Wakefield for a couple of nights, and then eventually zubba to Ardrossan. Maybe I'm getting fitter, but leaving Clare wasn't as hard as what the hills suggested, and coming down the other side to the plains was absolutely magnificent. A couple that I met at church on the other side of Blythe invited me to swing by for lunch, so thank you, Robert and Dorothea. This is where the offer of whisky on tap was tempting, but I just wanted to get to Lockhill. I thought I'd successfully timed my departure from Clare to get a tailwind, but no. But still, Lockhill Sports Ground provided a wonderful place to bed down for the night. And the highlight of Lockhill, of course, was its lake and its very own scary sea monster. Well, the highway down to Port Wakefield was, in the words of Google Maps, mostly flat. That is, apart from the hills. There was more traffic, more headwinds, and fortunately, it was a short day of riding. That slog made me question my next moves. If I was slogging against these headwinds in 40-degree temperatures, no, that is just plain foolhardy. And some of the wildlife just can't seem to help themselves. But just over the water, York Peninsula beckoned. Departing Port Wakefield meant some backtracking, heading up north, back into more open flat country, but the good news was a bit of tailwind at least for a while. Stop at a weighbridge, offered the hope that I might be able to weigh myself and my bike, but no, this one here was unattended. Well, aside from the traffic, with all the following tailwind, this was actually a fun part of the day's ride. Federation Park is the turning point to go down to York Peninsula. It commemorates the invention of the stump jump plough. It's also the home to a magpie that was giving me some pretty unwanted attention. So now we're out of the saltbush country and we're heading towards Port Clinton, and here I finally got my glimpse of the Gulf of St Vincent from the other side. Well, we're getting into civilization again, and here's Port Clinton with its mud flats. I tried to get some shots of the bird life, but never work with children and animals. Well, with a headwind, it turned out to be a hard afternoon's work. But you see that white dot next to that tree? That was my first glimpse of Ardrossan. Yay! Yes, Ardrossan, birthplace of Franzo. But you'll get to hear more about that in the next exciting episode of the Tour de Franzo. Stay tuned, Francerisers. Francerisers, tales of action and intrigue as I move from Clare down to Ardrossan. Thank you for watching this episode, and don't forget to click, like and subscribe, and if you follow the link down below, you can contribute to the Shout Me a Beer Fund, because even here in South Australia, cycling is thirsty work. Meanwhile, thanks for your interest and stay tuned.